Render is one of the hottest AI altcoins on the market, and the token is up 125% over the past month as demand continues to grow for its decentralized GPU infrastructure. Now, in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show, I want to break down some huge announcements from the Render team over the past week, including 3 different upgrade proposals all announced at once, which could help push this altcoin to new all-time highs. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor do I offer any sort of financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find the videos informative and entertaining, please consider hitting that sub and like button, and I appreciate all the support on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. So without further ado, we are going to get right into today's altcoin of discussion, and that is going to be Render here, which is seeing a massive spike in volume up to 5.09 billion in trading volume over the past 24 hours. And we did also see it really go on a nice run here from about $8.50 up to $11.50, coinciding with when Bitcoin crossed 100,000. So we saw that massive spike for Render. Since then, the altcoin has pulled back and is currently right below the $10 mark. But what I want to do today is take a look at 3 different proposals that were announced by the Render team earlier this week that, if passed, could help act as a bullish catalyst for this project. Now, before we get into the Render specific news, I do want to take a couple of minutes to just give an update on the general market structure, as at the moment we have Bitcoin, which did top out at about 103.5K on December 5th. We can now see that over here it is pretty much down to $99,000, so back below the 100K level. And I do view this consolidation for Bitcoin as bullish. The fact that we now broke 100K, that the media is talking about Bitcoin hitting 6 figures for the first time, and we have fallen back below this level, but I think that there's a lot more attention on Bitcoin now than there was previously because of this massive milestone, and I do expect that this money will help propel Bitcoin to new highs and also flow into the altcoin market as well. Now, taking a look at Ethereum, Ether, unlike Bitcoin, which is well above its previous cycle all-time highs, Ether is still below its 2021 high by about 20%. But what I'm looking at when it comes to Ether is that it appears as if it wants to finally break out of this long-term downtrend that began with the 2021 high. We can see here this set of lower highs that has been made by Ethereum, and we can see here that on this weekly candle, it has broken above it. Now, it did get rejected at just about the $4,000 mark, just under that. But what I'm looking for is to really just see Ether hold this previous resistance as a level of support, and if it can do so, I would not be surprised to see Ether also make a run up to its 2021 highs at about the 48.55 level, more or less. Now, I do want to take a look at the altcoin index as well. So this is the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it actually did briefly make a new all-time high. We can see that the 2021 high sat at about 1.13 trill. It did hop up here to about 1.16 trill, and since then has pulled back. It's still above the $1 trillion level, which I would be looking at as a level of support. I was talking about Total 3 when it was still down like 25-30% from highs, when it was just about to break this trend line. Yeah, so even like 40% lower here from that 2021 high. I've been pretty vocal about expecting alts to outperform from here. And yeah, alts definitely have been performing well as Total 3 has been rallying. Bitcoin dominance has been falling. And with that, I really am looking for altcoins that I think are going to show the most strength as we do enter what I am expecting to be alt season. And for me, Render is one of those tokens, okay? It does fit a big narrative of this bull run, which is the AI narrative, as Render essentially offers a decentralized GPU marketplace where people are able to put their idle GPU compute to work on the Render network and get paid for it in Render tokens. So we saw 3 massive announcements from the Render team over the past couple of days. And I want to break down exactly what they all mean with these Twitter threads. So first of all, we had RNP16. Arnold Render is being integrated into the render network. So what is Arnold Render? Arnold Render, developed by Autodesk, is a Monte Carlo path tracer built for feature films and high-end TV. Known for its quality and scalability, it's used in major productions like Gravity and Game of Thrones. So that is one of the things that the render network is actually used for, is rendering for content creation. And they have also pivoted into using this GPU computing power for compute clients as well for artificial intelligence purposes. Anyways, getting back to RMP 16. So Arnold's strengths include physically based rendering for hyper-realistic results, handling of massive data sets, billions of polygons, complex shaders, native integrations with Maya, Houdini, Cinema, 4D, and more. The render network democratizes rendering by enabling artists to harness near unlimited GPU compute power. So basically, RNP 16 focuses on enabling support for Arnold by defining compatibility for Arnold projects, workflow specifics including scene upload, draw preparation, and output formats, and licensing compliance. And how does this impact artists? So with Arnold Render on the render network, they're going to have this distributed GPU power to render high quality frames at unparalleled speeds, cost savings, pay per use, reducing overhead, and scalability, handling demanding scenes without any sort of hardware bottlenecks. Now, in terms of licensing matters, RNP 16 ensures Arnold's integration respects Autodesk's licensing model. Usage-based licensing is supported, allowing artists to pay only for what they render, making it budget-friendly for all. So why is this important? Arnold excels at realism, and the render network offers scale. Together, they bridge the gap between local hardware constraints and creative ambition. So really neat stuff here that they are looking to actually integrate Arnold Render here with the render network, and that is RNP 16. Now, RNP 17 is looking to introduce Octane Render for Blender into the render network, expanding on a previous upgrade. So why this matters: this integration expands the tools available to Blender users, providing advanced GPU rendering for faster, high-quality results, support for physically accurate materials and lighting, real-time viewport performance for streamlined workflows, and a stronger connection between Blender and the render network. So if we actually take a look at RNP 14, Blender 3D is a free and open source 3D computer graphics software tool used for creating animated films, visual effects, art, 3D printed models, motion graphics, interactive 3D applications, virtual reality, and formerly video games. So just for some context on what Blender is exactly. So the purpose here is to provide Blender artists with the ability to use Octane Render's powerful capabilities via the render network. This integration ensures Blender users have access to industry-leading rendering tools for creative freedom. So they outline the implementation plan over here. And then just talk about the benefits of this as well for artists, developers, and for the ALTCOIN team. So how it works: artists prepare .blend files and assets, upload via Render's platform, and render using Octane. Supports Render's existing tiers and pricing for GPU workloads, and tools like encryption, file packaging, and API extensions enhance ease of use. So why this matters: RMP 17 brings Octane Render to Blender, giving artists powerful new tools to create, supporting Render Network's mission to provide access to the best creative tools while letting artists choose what works best for them. Now, as for the final RNP 18, this is the one I'm most interested in personally. This outlines the proposed emissions allocations for year 2 of the burn mint equilibrium, an economic mechanism passed in RNP 1. Now, if you're not too familiar with what the burn mint equilibrium is, effectively, what this means is that if we go over here and take a look, so upon completion of work, creators pay for jobs by converting fiat into render tokens. The render is subsequently burned in exchange for completion of the work, and then a transparent log of these transactions is maintained by the protocol, which forms the basis for rewards for contributors at each epoch's end. So effectively, this means that the more usage of the render network that there is, the more tokens are being burned. And that is why these integrations here for RMP 16 and 17 are important at the end of the day for the render token, because anything that leads to increased adoption of the render network and their GPU infrastructure will also lead to more burns for the token itself. So here's why this matters. Year 1 of the Berman equilibrium was a success according to the render team. 93 artist grants funded, 1.14 million render rewards paid, 355 million tokens upgraded to Solana, and on-chain network usage was tripled. Now here for the year 2 emissions, okay, they're talking about 5.9 million render, so 1.5 mil or 25% going for node rewards for growth / product releases, 25% to artist and AI client rewards, and then community initiatives, R&D operations, and growth for the final 50% or 2.9 million render. So this proposal impacts all members of the render community. Node operators will get stable weekly rewards to ensure network availability. Artists and AI clients get increased incentives to grow creative opportunities, and then the community, as they are going to use something for that 50% for funding for future growth initiatives, R&D, and other operations. So they talk about the implementation over here, and they basically just talk about how it's going to set the stage for continued growth and innovation in year 2. So definitely a lot to take in here, and this is why I do remain so bullish on Render. First of all, because they are really looking to solve a big problem with the bottleneck of supply for GPU power with their decentralized GPU infrastructure, and the team does continue to build out this infrastructure for different use cases, and just looking to go for as many integrations as possible. I also do like the connection and correlation between the usage of the network and the tokenomics, as increased usage should be leading to increased burns of Render itself. And it appears as if the market liked what it heard too, as we actually saw Render pump from, $8.23 up to $11.81. So it was about a 43% move for Render here on that one daily candle. Now, since then, it has pulled back, but it is sitting at the moment at a key area of support at the $10 level. So I do want to kind of wrap things up, just taking a look at the price action and talking about what I'd be looking for next when it comes to this altcoin. So we're going to go ahead and go to a 5-year chart over here. Now, in terms of the support, okay, we do have this area of support at the $8.80 zone. This is where the 2021 all-time high sits for Render, and we did actually pass it here, so I do expect this to now act as some support. At the moment, it is right at the $10 level of support, but if it was to break down, $8.80 is what I would be looking for. Now, to the upside, okay, if we take a look at these daily candles here, this is on a weekly chart, sorry, not a daily, we can see that here on a few occasions, Render actually wicked up to about the 11.92 and got rejected. So that is what I would be looking for potentially as the first level of resistance. Would be where Render started selling off yesterday on that pump. So I'm looking for it to hold $10. If it breaks down, I am looking for the $8.80 zone. And if it wants to move to the upside, I would be looking for it to take out the highs it made yesterday at about the $11.90 zone. So on that note, I hope you all enjoyed the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.